Welcome to another one of my videos where I'm taking you behind the scenes as I form my new group brand mentoring program called The Forest. And today I'm going to be sharing all around how I've created the brand experience for The Forest. So obviously there's the physical product program, and same for you. You might have a physical product or service that you offer, and obviously that has to be really good. But beyond that, the brand experience that people get when they interact with this product or service is just as important. And especially when you're kind of putting it out there into the world, it's even more important because it's going to give people that kind of gut reaction to kind of draw them in. So I'm going to be showing you how I've formed the brand experience for The Forest and how I've kind of brought everything in together to form the portal, I suppose, that we'd call it, that people would be looking at. So I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller as I chat this through. So, as I said, chatting through how I created the brand experience for The Forest. And first of all, I suppose I should share why a brand experience is very important. And these are very short points because I could talk about this for a long time. And it will be something that when you come into The Forest, we will be working on your brand experience, because it isn't just your visuals. Your brand experience is everything from your website, how people get an email, how they receive your product or service, what you send over to them, how you talk, what your blogs are like, how you make people feel, what your social posts are like, and actually having your personality or your brand's personality in every single one of those touch points. And you will find if anything's a little bit amiss, or you're not really feeling confident in your brand, you will notice a lack of trust, because obviously there are so many choices out there, especially with programs and courses. So I know that if I create my brand experience for The Forest really well, and hopefully after all my years of brand building and forming kind of strategy and visuals for people, I hopefully have done a good job. But you can sort of have a look for yourself and see what you think. So I really want to encourage the right people to come to The Forest. So when I've created this brand experience, I'm kind of giving people an essence of what The Forest is all about, how they're going to feel, what they're going to get from it, the kind of vibe of it, I think is probably the best word to use. So it's going to draw the right people in who are going to benefit the most. So I don't really have to do as much work, because the people that are coming onto the page will immediately feel like, yes, this is exactly right for me. And also it filters out the people who aren't the right fit for this. And I always say, if you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. That's one of my little brand phrases that I use quite a lot, and I'm really passionate about that. So by creating this experience, I'm going to kind of filter out people who aren't the right fit for this. So there's a bit of going out into nature in The Forest. So if there's someone who's coming on that page and hates going outdoors, doesn't really enjoy being out in nature, their dream weekend would be to sit in front of Netflix all weekend, they're probably not going to be the right fit for The Forest, because they want to be watching maybe lots of screen time. The brand experience conveys what's going to make it different to group programs. So I've explained a little bit about how it's getting outdoors instead of sitting in front of your screen coming up with ideas, because from my experience and from working with clients, these are when the best ideas come, and they're like the aligned ideas with your vision. So that is what I feel makes The Forest different. And also it isn't like a watch loads of videos, it's being in a community, because I've experienced the power of a community and just having those conversations with people. So it's more about an organic, non-formulaic thing, and I'll show you how I've used that theme in the brand experience. Also, the brand experience is going to stand it out from other courses and programs as well. And it immediately creates a sense of what The Forest is all about. So without having to read, immediately someone will kind of go, yeah, I get this, because a lot of our decisions come from our subconscious. So we're very visually led, and the words come into it as well. But there's sort of like, we don't really know why we're drawn to something, but it's all about the kind of, that brand experience that we're getting. And that's everything. So it's like the visuals, the way we're talking, and it's what makes people feel really excited and interested in your brand, product or service. So the brand experience is about how people feel, how people respond, and how people experience the forest. This will be. And my big thing is to create that interest, that desire, that gut reaction. Because when you do these things, excuse me, you won't have to resort to lots of kind of sales Obviously you do need to share, but the way you share kind of is in tune with this, so people just feel that you're really being authentic and they trust you. You're not copying anyone else. They feel that there's something different. And like I said, it's crowded out there. There's lots of online things going on. So you've really got to, draw people in and make them go, oh, wow, this looks great. I've not seen this before. Oh, I've not seen anyone take people out into nature. And I'll show you how I've done that. So the first thing was that I wanted the forest to look a little bit different to my Creative Wilderness brand, because it's a different space. It's a different kind of experience that people are getting. So I've kind of stuck to my brand colours, but I've really brought in this green, obviously, to tie in with the forest. But also there's a real wisdom behind this green. It's not a bright green. So I really thought about like what shade of green would work well for this. And then I've chosen this font that has that kind of folkloric, you found this amazing book in an antique bookshop that's full of wisdom, and you kind of want to go in. And yeah, the font to me just really, really summed up the forest. So I've kept it nice and simple and kind of quite clean, but has that kind of woodlandy feel. So I'm going to show you now the forest page, and also the kind of, if people enroll in the forest, what you'll get and how I've formed the experience. This is the overall sort of page that people will come on, and I will be sharing that soon. You can see we've got this at the top, and because it's virtual, but I do want to give the feeling of stepping into a forest, I've found this video that I've just popped in the background. And then the language I've used is sort of inspirational, it feels calm, and I've thought about words that relate to sort of that outdoory, foresty thing, and things that would come from me as well. So wonder, grow and thrive are the themes of the forest, and as you can see when I share this page, you'll be able to read about how I've used that language to really bring you in. I've used like, a new path, because that's going to be what you're doing on the forest, and kind of like use the word roots. So it's all tied into that whole forest experience. And then kind of got little quotes here to really show them what they're doing. There's a picture of me, obviously, outside. And then I've brought in sort of this imagery, but it feels relatable. So obviously you could have a forest picture really, taken from above on a drone shot. That doesn't fit in with my brand experience, because mine's all about having this supportive community, that we're really kind of, it's sort of a direct experience. So I've chosen, a close-up image as opposed to, a far out picture of a forest that just feels unrelatable for people, because I want every single person to feel really important in the group. And my thing about the forest is you're not just a number following someone's program, which I think is quite common in when we do take courses, and I've certainly experienced that too. So this is just a bit more about it, and then again I've used step into the forest, so it's kind of like you're actioning and you're going to experience it. And then I found a lovely little tree image to kind of tie in with that, and then I repeat these words, wonder, grow, thrive, and they're the theme of each month. So it's kind of things that would happen in a forest. So instead of calling it like I can't think, discover, implement, action, that doesn't fit with the feel of the forest. So I've really thought about everything in that, and then actually how the forest is run. So it is more organic, it's more flowing, it's more you responding, because we're all at different places. And I think about that, like, trees are growing at different rates, so having a program that's just everyone's going to do the same thing, to me just doesn't feel right. But the first month will be all about the roots, so there's a little bit more of a structure in that one. And then obviously when you've got your roots, a bit like when you have one of those kind of things to help a tree grow, then you take it off and the tree can grow on its own. It'll develop where it wants to go. So that's very much how I'm seeing your business, and I've brought that into to a lot of the words that I've using. And then the one thing I'm really excited about is the virtual, instead of calling it virtual Zoom or virtual Q&A or whatever people call it quite a lot, I thought that doesn't fit with the forest, so I've called it like a campfire session. So once a month we'll be coming together on the screen, but I will be trying as much to kind of have a campfire. We'll probably have I'll do a bit of like fire burning, and then do like a little bit of a starting meditation or something like that, to really bring us into the group and make us feel like we are around a campfire, even though we are not. So I'm really excited about that, and that's another example of carrying that brand experience through to every single touch point of the forest. So let's just close that. Yeah, and then I've obviously more imagery here. So I've got that campfire there. To everything feels kind of, yeah, foresty. And then a picture of me outside, because I've kind of, it's all about, you know, working with you and what your dreams are for your life and your business. So freedom's one of mine. So, you know, building my brand to support that freedom has been very important to me. So alongside reading through the words, that image is going to tell a story as well. And that's why, yeah, like everything works together. For a brand experience. And then I've used the word craft because, again, I'm very much about crafting, so really honing your craft. It doesn't mean making something, but I think there's a big focus in business at the moment on like, yeah, just outsourcing everything, not doing anything anymore, getting someone else to do it. But there's a real beauty in a craft, and I always try and come back to that to my with my business. And then I've used lots of words like natural rhythms, freedom, space, rooted, to bring that apart. So that's the kind of page which I'll be sharing next week, where you'll be able to enroll on that. And then when you do enroll, working through this is sort of the forest area, so you'll log in and this is where you can find everything, and again, it looks a little bit different to my website. I've been thinking how to make it feel very calm so that you're not overwhelmed with lots of things, and you'll obviously, you can have this on your phone, but I want people to be getting away from the screen, so I've had that in my head when I've been forming things. So I wanted to keep it nice and simple and easy to use so that people can kind of come on this space. They can check the events, so twice a month people will be able to ask me anything. So when they can see those dates, and I'll explain a little bit more how they work, and then they can see the campfire session, and then there'll be a kind of click, you can quickly join on that. And then again, I've used words like have a wander around the forest. So each month there will be some little activities to do to get you out into nature. So you'll be able to kind of come on this page. Currently it's just month one, because obviously I want people to work through it as at their own pace. And then there's sort of a little section here, like which path do you want to take, so people can quickly get to different sections. So we've got the Ask Me Anything sessions where people can send me a message or a voice note or a video over on Slack, and then I'll be sharing kind of my talk through for the group. If people want to keep that kind of confidential, they can do, and I can record back. But I think it works really well when we share and we kind of hear what other people are struggling with. I always learn from that. So they'll be twice a month, and I'll be recording my responses to everyone's questions, and then you can kind of see your question in there. We've got the Forest community, which I'm going to show you in a second, where you can connect with everyone over on Slack. So you'll be sharing your activities, seeing what other people have done. If you've gone out and taken any pictures, or been out in nature and come up with something, you can kind of go on there, and you can also ask for some support. And then there's the cabin in the woods again, showing about that full brand experience. It could be called the library, but it's not indoors, is it? The forest. So I wanted to kind of think of a good way of giving that experience of like somewhere you'd come and learn. And then I found a little cute picture of some books in the woods. So here I'm going to put useful workshops, workbooks, and extra activities. So these are kind of optional, because that's the thing about this. I want people to sort of find their own learning journey with it, and it isn't too formulaic. So I'll show you the cabin in the woods, and there's going to be a little how-to guide of the forest and talking how to get the most of it, little note from me, and then just reminding that it's all about wandering, growing, and thriving. So the cabin in the woods is going to, like I say, have some useful spaces. It's your space to learn and dig deeper. Again, using that language there. And again, hopefully you can see that it feels very calm and uncluttered, and it's kind of, you still feel like you're maybe having a nice breath of forest air when you're on it. So what you do is, if you want to learn something specific, you can have a look here. For example, there might be one on like how to create persona for your brand, or improve your SEO in 10 minutes, or improve your website, something like that. And what I'll be doing is I'll seeing, first of all, when you enroll, I'll be looking at what problems people are kind of facing, and then I'll be creating a couple of kind of ad hoc workshops, and they will be very small and very short. So at the moment, I've just popped in some of the resources that I already have created that you'll get for free. And then you'll have access to this when the program ends. So you're paying now for obviously the kind of live stuff, but you'll still be able to get on this page there, and there'll be lots more there, so you can kind of pick and choose from something that you want to work on and go deeper. You don't have to do this, it's just I know some people love learning extra. And then when it's month by month, so month one is wander, And I'll be saying like this month you'll be heading out into nature, so it'll go a bit more about that, and then I'll be delivering the activity. So this is the first activity. I'll be record a little video guide, then you can have that on your phone as well, if you want to just read it through. And there'll also be an audio talk through, because quite a lot of the activities you'll be outside, so I don't want you kind of looking on your screen. So I'll also have a little audio, so you can just have that in your ear if you want to go out, and I'll kind of be guiding you through the activities. And then there might be a worksheet. You can use your notebook if you don't want to download and print the worksheet. And then I've kind of put some key takeaways there. And the big part of the forest is obviously the community. So we'll be coming together for our campfire sessions once a month, but there's also going to be a community, and I've used Slack for this. So every time you've done something, I'm encouraging you to come over and share on the community. And then you can basically, you'll click here and then the community will open up. And this is what it's like. So we've got like a general forest area here, so you can type away, you can attach some photos, you can record a video, you can record a voice note. So that's that bit, and then there's going to be a little section to sort of introduce yourself when you first come into the forest. And then if you need any help, you can obviously post it there. This is a bit different. Obviously, the Ask Me Anything sessions are where we're going to go a bit deeper. But if there's a bit of help you want from the community, because we've all, you know, got lots of different experiences that we can share with each other, you can post it on there, and I'll be checking that once a month. And when it comes to Ask Me Anything, all you need to do is click on here. You can, this is a private message to me. You can obviously write it, you can record a voice note, you can send a video, or, you know, of what you'd like help with. And also you can message people in the group. So, you know, I really encourage people to form connections in the group, and I'll probably pair you up with someone in the group who I think you could both help each other in the following months after we've done the first month. So that's all that. So, I can take a breath now. That's all about the experience in the forest, and I've kind of coloured this to match, and then I want people to be able to access it on their phone as well, so you can have this as an app, but to feel quite unoverwhelming, because I know we can get distracted, and that's why I've kept this space a little bit different, because I really, you know, the main thing is you'll be coming on this page and you'll be like finding your activity to do. You'll have an email saying, you know, each week, just to kind of give you a little summary of your activities. And then you'll kind of, if you want to jump into the community, you can do, but you can also have that space on your own where you're exploring your forest yourself. And that's going to really help you take some actions. And these activities are going to be, very powerful. But I'm not going to overwhelm you with activities. So you'll probably have a couple of months, and then we'll kind of share them at the end of the month and see how you've got on. And they will be, actionable things. So it's more you doing, because I think we can just consume so much information. And that's the other thing I wanted the forest to be about. It's not consuming loads and loads of information. It's kind of doing things, because how many people have taken a course, got to the end of it, thought, wow, that's amazing, but haven't actually done anything for their brand or business. So that's a guide, a little view of kind of what the forest will look like if you enroll. And obviously month 2 will be about growing and growing, and then the month 3 will be thriving. So you'll have them at the top, and then you'll kind of jump in and you'll explore the activities there. And then obviously we'll feel nice and connected, because we'll be sharing on the Wonder, and then you can always jump in here and jump on the Ask Me Anything. We've got the community each month, and then the cabin in the woods, where you can dive a little bit deeper, but obviously the main focus will be on this. So definitely do these activities before we jump into the rest of it. So there's a little bit sharing about the whole brand experience, and hopefully you've seen how important it is, and how obviously the forest is a space, but it's virtual. So it's really important for me to kind of give people that feeling of connection, give people that feeling of community, and make them want to step into that space. So I'd love to hear what you thought. If it sounds like you'd like to step into the forest, then do let me know if you've got any questions. I'll be launching it for early bird enrollment very, very soon, and also I'm going to be opening up to any questions. So if you have got any questions, then you can send them over, and then I'll be recording a big kind of answer to everyone's questions, because I'm sure lots of people will have similar things. And then I'll be sharing the launch page as well. So I will be in touch soon. Thanks for listening.